What's up, everybody? It's Adam here. I'm making this video in my vehicle. We're going to be talking about game here, some things that were on my mind as of recently. We're just about, feeling bad, feeling negative emotions. Sometimes you just feel down, and you might wonder why. Why do I feel down? And then if you're taking stock of your actions, it could have been something that you ate the previous day. It could be that you're not getting sleep. It could be that your finances aren't at a point where you feel like you have a safety net, where you feel secure. Maybe your income isn't, you don't have a reliable source of income. Maybe your relationships are suffering with your family. Maybe your relationships just in general are kind of suffering. There could be many things. Maybe you didn't get a lot of sleep. And if you're not aware of this, if you're not aware of what actions you're taking on a regular basis, it's easy to forget that there's all these other factors that could be the cause of why you're feeling down. Now, on top of that, the fact that that one day you're going to die, one day you're going to get old, that all this stuff is going on around the world that we're being subjected to, that we have no control over. All of these things could be reasons why you're not feeling so great. So understand that there's many factors that could be influencing your state of mind and your mood. Now, there's a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and in that, he talks about how there's your circle of concern, which are things that are not necessarily in your control, and there's your circle of influence, the things that you can control, and to focus more so on your circle of influence. What can you affect? What kind of stresses are in your life right now that you can mitigate, that you can take action on, and that you can take control over? So if it's your finances, if it's your work, maybe you got to get on that. Get on your work, get on your finances, save money. See, the difficult thing though is that it's not that you can't build up your social life. It's not that you can't be in a place in your life where you no longer are worried about your finances. The difficult thing is to overcome maybe habits, self-sabotage, where you're just not able to stick to processes, stick to routines. Maybe you have certain addictions. Addictions aren't necessarily just alcohol and drugs. It could be processed foods. It could be an addiction to emotions. It could be an addiction to wasting time, social media, scrolling through your phone. You only have so much time in a day. Start valuing your time. Understand, take stock of the time that you have. Take stock of the finances that you have and where you're spending your money. And start prioritizing your time and start prioritizing what you're spending your money on, and really decide what is most important for you. Also, you could be totally valid in not feeling good. The thing is that what is the point of life? You're going to get old. You're going to die one day. Everybody's subjected to this. Yet you have to somehow brainwash yourself into just imagining that's never going to happen. How long can you go and work? How long can you go and just do the thing until some external factor or force affects you, where then you have to stop? You're going to work and work and work until some point where you're not going to be able to work anymore. And we're just supposed to live in this world and just to ignore that and imagine that we're never going to die one day, that we're never going to get old, that we're never going to maybe catch some sort of horrific disease. And it's fucked up, man. It is fucked up. How can we feel good living in this reality? Well, I guess it's also trying to focus on the good, trying to focus on that at this point in your life that you have the ability to get out there and maybe have some fun times, have some good experiences, live a full life, try to be happy, try to live with meaning and purpose. And that's something that we have to try to do. And we're all going through these things, and some ways to mitigate this existential dread that we may feel is to work out, exercise, have goals, make a purpose for yourself. If there really is no purpose in life, make a purpose. And if that purpose for you is to get out and socialize and meet lots of different women and try to cultivate an extraordinary dating life for yourself, then do that too. Because if there is no purpose, then it doesn't matter what you do. Make a purpose. If this is something that you're passionate about, then go for it. Now, if this is something that you that you're struggling with, like me, it didn't come easy, then get out there and just start talking to women. You don't need to know certain lines or know exactly what to do and exactly what to say. You see, that's not going to be the hardest thing. The hardest thing is going to be to make a schedule for yourself, have processes, have habits, have routines that you can be consistent with and stick with. The hard part is going to be getting rid of old habits and changing your behaviors and actually embracing success, embracing good things in life, because you might not be used to that. You might actually be used to trauma and fear and living in lack and living in as a victim in life. So the hard part's going to actually be rewiring your brain and your beliefs and actually start to enjoy life and living where and accepting happiness. Maybe you're used to unhappiness. You're going to have to, and that's going to be uncomfortable to be living with abundance and happiness. So you're going to have to rewire your brain there and not self-sabotage. Get off the weed, get off the booze. Start taking care of yourself and accepting responsibility and being your own best friend, giving yourself recognition. Get out there, approach women, don't give up. Keep approaching. If you don't know what to do, if you don't know what to say, welcome to the club. That's what you cultivate, self-trust. You're cultivating the ability to put yourself in chaotic environments and not knowing what to do and not knowing what to say, but developing self-trust and saying, you know what? I'm going to enter into that situation anyways, and I'm going to do the best that I can. As well, hey, just like in boxing, just like in a sport, you might have a coach. If you're having trouble with this, get a coach. Someone like myself. I've been doing this for 13 years. I can push you. I can tell you to get in there, point out sets, demonstrate, show you what to do, give you some insights of how to frame things and push you to get out of your comfort zone. And that can be really helpful and get you on a path and get you on the right track. So if you would like to work with me, hit me up at datingdestruction@gmail.com. I'll also put some of my services in the description below. But, other than that, this didn't come naturally for me. Me personally, I from 12 to 25, I was working towards being a professional skateboarder. I had it in my mind that I wanted to be sponsored. I had it in my mind that maybe I wanted to, get some photos, run in some magazines, as my neighbor was a high-level wakeboarder at that time, and he had shown me some photos that he had in magazines, and I guess maybe that was where I got the idea that was something that I could accomplish in that arena. And the thing is, though, is that I didn't have a lot of the tools, the mental tools, the education that I have now, and I probably could have taken things a lot further had I had the support and the knowledge that I have now. However, it took me many years to learn these kinds of things, and then also this pursuit of going out to bars and clubs, approaching women, pushing myself past my comfort zone. I know what this takes. I know what it takes to build a skill to a high degree. And so, definitely getting help, learning from others, buying programs, educating yourself, reading books, all of these things are helpful, as well as understanding that you're not a victim and taking control over the areas of your life that you have control over. Finances, that's important for your own self-worth, for your own mental state, to not be worrying about how you're going to pay rent or how you're going to buy good foods. Of course, that's going to be helpful, but it's not going to help you to get women. How do you get better with women? Go out there, talk to women. But that's easier said than done. You're going to get out there, you're going to go want to talk to somebody, and your mind's going to make up all these excuses why you can't do it. And that's the hard part, is self-control and making yourself do the thing, even though your mind is going to make up all these excuses. You're going to have all these worries. You're going to have all these fears. You're going to have negative self-talk. So that's the hard part. You go do it anyway. In the face of all that, you do it anyways. And it's never going to go away. They call it approach anxiety. And it's hardwired into our systems. And it's something that never goes away. I've been doing this for 13 years. I still get it. So you have to develop processes and routines and maybe ways to warm up and maybe ways to kickstart your verbal mouthpiece to get yourself into the flow and then get out there and start talking to people. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. One of those ways is take the pressure off. Stop basing your success off of whether or not you're going to sleep with someone, and start just enjoying the process of going up and speaking with people, working on your social skills, and let the results come as they will. Part of this is a numbers game. So the more people that you go talk to, the more chances that you're going to give yourself to finding that person that you vibe with and that maybe wants to take things to a romantic level with you, right? Another thing is learning how to convey your personality, learning how to keep yourself talking, learning how to be uninhibited and expressing yourself to the fullest and not filtering yourself and being willing to take rejection. That helped me out a ton. Just learning that alone was that rejection is normal, that you're going to have to experience that not everyone's going to like you. But if you can keep yourself taking action in the face of that, that eventually you're going to find someone that you vibe with. You can get on dating apps. Looking at this maybe like sales. You know, the more people that you can get yourself in front of, the more likely you are to find those people that you resonate with. So that's it. Quick little video here. And again, my email is datingdestruction@gmail.com. If you're interested in working with me, hit me up. And until next time, otherwise, like and subscribe the video, please. And peace out, my friends.